What's up? What's up? This is DeLuca. Today's video is about getting bass lessons. What you gonna do? You gonna learn from a video? You gonna listen to the song by ear? You gonna teach yourself theory? You can do all that. I recommend doing all that. But if you can find yourself a good bass teacher, that's a good thing too. It doesn't have to be a bass teacher in your town. It could be somebody that can be on another side of the country, different time zone. You can do it by Skype. Skype lessons are big things these days. You can do that by Skype. So, but you got to have some criteria when you're looking for a bass teacher. Okay, they should be a bass player. Okay, primary instrument should be bass. All right. Another thing too, are you a 4-string bass player? Are you a 5-string bass player? Or even a 6-string, whatever. If you want to concentrate on, whatever instrument you want to concentrate on, 4, 5, 6-string, try to find a teacher who can teach you that instrument. If you can't find one, then find the best available. Okay? The main thing though, bass should be their primary instrument. Nobody who's teaching you bass whose primary instrument is guitar, electric guitar, or keyboard, or saxophone, but they teach bass on the side. Yeah, they might know how to play a little bit. They're not a bass player. Okay? I'm not taking no bass lessons from somebody whose primary instrument is anything other than bass. Okay? So, I don't recommend you do that. There's plenty of great bass players out here giving great lessons. Okay? Find a bass player who can teach you stuff, who can give you that perspective from a bass player's point of view. Okay? So, several other things to look for. Do you want to just learn songs? Do you want to learn theory? Or you want to learn a combination of both? Okay? Do you want that person's knowledge as far as being on stage, what to do on a gig, how to prepare for a gig, being professional? Those are all things you should look for too. You're spending your money, you might as well be able to, they should almost be a mentor. You want a bass teacher who can be a mentor to you, not just show you notes or show you what to read on a piece of paper. Somebody who's experienced, who does gigs. Not somebody who plays like 3 times a year. You want somebody who's experienced. You know what I'm saying? So, very important when you're searching for that. Now, like I said earlier, you can get lessons by Skype. You can get lessons old school way in person. One-on-one, where you go to someone's house, or you meet them at the music store, or they come to your house. That's the old school way. You can even do group lessons where you're in a group of other bass players and you're like in a clinic situation or a classroom situation where you have a bass player showing a group a bunch of stuff. That's possible too. Those are rare. Most of the time those happens at clinics or something like that, or some kind of school. Okay. Now, figure out a way that's best for you. If you live out in some remote area and there's not good bass players out there, then you're going to have to do the Skype thing over the internet. You got to figure out if you're going to book. I'm trying to hold this phone and drive at the same time. Yes. So, let's see. You got to figure out how long you want your lessons to be. Half hour or 1 hour. Most teachers book in increments of half hour or 1 hour. Do you want to pay for a group of lessons all at once, like a month's worth? Do you want to meet with that person every week? Or do you want to meet every 2 weeks? Or do you want to meet once a month? So those are all things you got to think about when you're looking for a teacher. As far as your cost too. How much does it cost, DeLuca? How much do lessons usually cost? Well, it can start at $20, depending on who you're getting the lessons from. $20 for a half hour. Then it can go up. The more professional the person is, the price is up. Okay? but the knowledge that you gain is even better. So myself, I've had lessons from guys who suck, and I figured them out pretty quick that they couldn't play and they wasn't teaching me shit. So I got rid of their ass. So, but then I've had lessons from pros too. Like I took lessons from Anthony Wellington, who's Victor Wooten's bass player, who plays with Victor Wooten a lot, teaches at his camps. And I did Skype lessons with him for years, a couple years at least. And he's the best bass player, best bass teacher I've ever seen or worked with. He knows everything about theory. He can play anything literally on the bass, demonstrate stuff, great soloist, great chops, but he's expensive. So if you're a serious player, I recommend you go for somebody like that. But you better be serious and you better have the bucks. They ain't cheap. So it just depends on what you want to do, what level you want to be at. But like I said earlier, bass should be their primary instrument. Like Anthony Wellington, bass is his primary instrument, but he can play other instruments. Okay, he can play keyboard and guitar and all that stuff, but bass is his instrument. So that's why I took lessons from him. He knows his shit. And the theory knowledge, the way he explains theory, it just, I mean, even a dummy like me can figure that shit out. I was like, oh, I got it now. So you want a teacher like that can break it down, especially when you're learning theory. You can break that shit down to where you understand it. Because theory's not that hard if somebody knows how to explain it. Okay? So, those are the things you want to look for in the bass teacher if you're going to go that route. The cheapy route, of course, is to watch videos on YouTube. You want to learn how to play a song? Watch my channel. I got 200 videos of me playing songs. Watch somebody else's channel. They're playing any song you want to learn. Most people are on there showing off trying to play it. Okay? You can learn it that way. You can learn theory off of videos. Okay? You can learn theory off of apps. For your phone. You can learn all kinds of stuff. Voice lessons, anything off an app. You can learn bass stuff off an app. So, just do all that. So, until you're ready to get a teacher. So, there's plenty of ways to learn to play your instrument. Of course, you want to develop your ear. To me, the ear is the most important thing as far as learning how to play the bass. You got to be able to hear what's going on. And then followed by, of course, learning theory and learn how to read a chart and stuff like that. That's if you want to be a professional. You got to learn how to do all that. But if you're just playing for yourself, you got to develop that ear. Stay away from tabs. Tabs is, you're not going to learn anything playing tabs. Okay, you're not going to learn anything. Just develop your ear, learn how to read a chart, and you'll be cool, man. And if you can afford it, find a good teacher. All right, I think that's it for my video for today on finding a bass teacher. And if you say you find a bass teacher and you think he's pretty cool or she's pretty cool, and then you get into 1 or 2 lessons and you realize, this motherfucker don't know shit. I ain't learning nothing. Or you don't feel like you vibe with that teacher. There's no connection. Get rid of them. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. 1 or 2 lessons, you should be able to figure it out. You should be able to figure out if they're any good or not. If they're not, move on. Cut your losses, move on. I would say pay for 1 or 2 lessons up front. And then if everything goes good, then pay for more. If everything doesn't, then you just pay for 1 or 2 lessons and you're out. You move on to somebody else. And that's my advice for today on bass teachers. Yeah. So share the knowledge. Make some comments. Give me your experiences on some bass teachers, and if you've had any in the past. You know, let a brother know. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. I hope my camera wasn't too shaky for y'all, because I'm trying to drive and hold it at the same time. Yeah. Alright. I'll catch up with you next time. Later.